Welcome back to the channel, you guys. I have an exciting and great video for you today. Today is the day the PDT rule is finally being lifted across the board for most major trading brokers, and boy did it not disappoint. On one of the very first days where traders could really start taking advantage of the change, I had my biggest green day yet. Today I made just over $450 in a couple of hours. Please excuse my dog. Now, before we dive into the trades I made, what I was looking for, thinking, and feeling, I want to introduce myself. My name is Adam, and I've been actively day trading for just about 3 weeks now, where I started my account out with a little over $2,500, and I want to break down exactly what I traded, what worked, what almost didn't work, and the lessons every new trader should know before jumping into day trading. Yes, there is a lot of opportunity when it comes to day trading, and the opportunities got a lot bigger, but so did the risk. Get you up to speed if you're not familiar with the PDT rule. Let me spend a quick 30 seconds on it. The PDT rule has been in place for about 20 years at this point, and all it really did was restricted you from trading as much as you wanted throughout the day if you didn't have $25,000 or more funded into your trading account. If you had less than $25,000 funded, you were restricted each and every day in a rolling 24-hour window to the amount of buying power that you had in your account. So let's say I had $2,000 in my account and I bought shares worth $2,000 by 7:30 a.m. and I bought them and I sold them, and let's just say I made $500 on those trades. I would be restricted from trading anything else the rest of that day, no matter how good the stock was, how much momentum was behind it, and how good of an opportunity it was for me to make money, until my cash settled 24 hours later the very next morning. And I don't know about you guys, but I personally don't have 25K sitting around to fund a day trading account with, because I have a real life with real expenses, real priorities, and real things to worry about. So this rule being loosened up has created a wave of new day traders, which is a great thing for you and us and the community, because more traders means more momentum, and more momentum means more opportunity. So let's get into the trades I made today, and we will take a look at how it went. So I started day trading today around 7 a.m. I like to day trade from 7 to 9:30 a.m. because a lot of companies will release headlines at 7 a.m., 7:30 a.m., 8 a.m., all the way up at 30-minute intervals until 9:30 a.m. where the market officially opens. I really like doing this because that is a pre-market window where you get extreme momentum and volume, but you're not subjected to halts. So halts are basically pauses in a stock's trading window for anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes if they're going up too quickly or they're going down too quickly. I guess it's to protect traders, but really all it does for me, and especially us day traders, is it pauses momentum for us. So I trade almost every day between that window. I started out my day actually down about $200. So I made a poor trade on SUNE, which lost me $18. I made a poor trade on OCC, which lost me $119. And I made a poor trade on FRSX, which lost me around $50. Now, at this point, I was really considering just shutting things down, but I wanted to ask myself an important question and check in and see how am I feeling? Because if I was feeling down $200, angry, or like I was chasing, or like I was panicking, I would have walked away. But I did an emotional check-in, which is very important if you're a day trader, with myself. And I said, am I okay to keep going? Should I fight back today, or am I, for whatever reason, way too emotionally charged right now? Am I going to continue to make bad decisions? Am I going to pile on this already? That's 10% of my account. Well, I guess I'm at 3,000 now, but that's almost 10% of my account. Usually that's a good time to stop, but I felt like doing the check-in was important, and like I personally wasn't feeling defeated. I felt like, okay, let's take a step back. There's going to be more opportunity. Down $200 or so at around, I think it was 8 a.m. And I said, let's reset, recalibrate, and let's wait for something good. So that's what I did. So I sat and I sat and I sat some more. And 8:30 hit, 9 hit, and 9:30 a.m. hit. And no good news headlines came out that felt like, yes, I need to get into this trade. And so I was ready to pack it up when INHD started popping up. Now you can see in this recording, this was taken after I had already made my trades, obviously, but INHD came out of nowhere with a news headline and started rocketing up. It went up almost 600%. At one point, this stock was up almost 800%. And I got in when I think it was around up 200%. And I started taking trades on it. And I was just chipping away. My goal was to just get back to, get back to even. It wasn't even get green. It was just get even. Yeah, I mean, I took my first trade on this at $1.92. And you can see in this recording, we're looking at a stock that's hovering around the $7 mark. So I was just chipping away at it for about an hour, making more and more money, making more and more trades, getting in, getting out, depending on what the candlesticks looked like, what the momentum was like. And this stock had so much support today. And I really think I have to attribute that to day traders flooding the market. It's not like, the news headline was this major catalyst. It wasn't anything super impressive. It was something about them developing an AI sales agent, which company isn't doing that at this point? But it just kept going up. So I traded it at $1.92, sold it at $2.04, got back in at $2.34, sold it at $2.43, got back in at $2.59, sold it at $2.67. I just kept hopping in and hopping out until I was up $500+ on this singular stock. And when the momentum kept going with this stock, we eventually hit a threshold where it started to halt. So I mentioned halts earlier, which is just basically pauses in the stock because it's moving up too quick. So while it was halting, I went and I looked around. I was like, okay, well, everyone that was just trading this stock has to be moving somewhere, right? That's the logical thought process, at least in my mind. So I looked and I found another stock that people were jumping to during the halts of this stock, waiting for it to resume, and that turned out to be NPT. So NPT, you can see in this video, is at the time of recording up around 120%. So that's where the next best momentum was, and I started hopping into that. And I was just building my cushion. I hopped into NPT at 281 for 1,000 shares and sold it at 285. Went back to INHD from 775 up to 805. It halted again. So I pivoted back to NPT, traded it at 322, and held it up to 349. And I was just basically pivoting back and forth between these two stocks that were up the most and had the most momentum behind them. They were trading, each 1 minute candle had millions of trades within them. So I just kept hopping back and forth until I had essentially 3 times my biggest green day today. So again, I made about $450 today on these two stocks. I did eventually say, you know what, Adam, let's not get greedy. Let's pause here. Just be happy with a fantastic day, the best day I've had to date, and not overstay our welcome. Because at this point, I had been trading these for a couple of hours, and I felt like there was going to be fatigue at some point. If we go and look at them now, we can actually check in on them and see where they're at. Yeah, they're hovering around where I decided to stop trading them. So I think that was the right choice. NPT is hovering around $2.80 a share. INHD is halted again and resuming at $9.50. So that's incredible to see. But I think the biggest takeaway from me today was ADT rule is creating mass momentum in the market. It's creating volume, and it's creating excitement. And you need all of those things as a community of day traders in order for your trades to work out. Now, you obviously have to enter at the right times, sell at the right times, read the charts, and make educated decisions. I think the proof is in the pudding. We're in a very excited market right now where there's going to be a lot of opportunity for people. And I think on top of that, and the most important takeaway from this video should be for anyone trading, is I was down $200. You could argue I should have walked away, and I did a emotional check-in with myself, and I asked the question, and I thought and sat with it and felt it, and I was like, do I feel emotionally charged right now? Like, if I keep trading, am I going to make good decisions, or am I going to blow my account up even further? Asking yourself questions like that is extremely important, because You can just as easily have a great green day as much as you can have a really bad red day. And despite these two stocks showing a lot of opportunity, if I was emotionally charged, I probably would have just continued to lose money because I would have been chasing, I would have been experiencing FOMO, I wouldn't have been reading the charts appropriately, I wouldn't have been reading the volumes, the level twos, looking for the right entries and exits. But when I asked myself that question and I felt like being honest with myself, I could say, no, I'm okay. I'm just going to stick around, calm down, see what else pops up, see if there's other opportunities. If there aren't, I'm going to walk away and I'm okay being down 200 and that's fine. I accept that. But I decided to stay in and fight back. And so I did. And I'm glad I did because, as you can see, it's my biggest green day to date, not even a month into my day trading journey. So I hope you guys gained some video. I think I just wanted to share my experience because I had the whole gambit of everything you might experience as a day trader. I started out really deep in the red for me. I asked myself the right questions. I checked in with myself, and then I fought back, made the right decisions, and I stayed calculated, and I left. Okay, I walked away. I'm not going back in. I'm not going back. Hey, so probably a good time now to chime in and say I did go back in, and I am now up $600 today. So reason I did this was because things are going absolutely parabolic right now. I think despite no incredible news headlines, there's just so much volume and so much excitement from day traders at this point that it doesn't matter. Now, this is not going to hold up, or at least you shouldn't assume it will, but MPT is now up 700, 800%. I'm watching it fly up right now as I talk to you guys. INHD is now up 2,000%. So, short time for me day trading, I've surely never seen anything even close to remotely similar to this. But again, it kind of just solidifies what I was saying. We are in a opportunity window right now. So it doesn't mean to be loosey-goosey. It doesn't mean to get crazy. It doesn't mean to risk this like it's the lottery. But, if you're excited about this, if you're not into day trading, or you are, please subscribe to the channel, follow me along. We're going to ride this thing out together. We'll see how it goes. And as I get my comfort level up and up, I hope to share knowledge with you guys, goods and bads of what I'm experiencing, and we'll just go from there and see what happens. But today was a crazy day, something I've personally never seen, and we'll see how it plays out over the course of the next week, month, and year. But thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and join me on this crazy journey. Remember, all this can change tomorrow and you could lose everything. So please do not get crazy and control your risk, control your emotions. But there's opportunity here and it's just up to you and us to find it. So thanks so much. And until next time, peace out.